Hey guys, Tierra here with Decor Fitness, and today's video is all about how I created my home gym. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Tierra Range, a current third-year pediatrics resident physician who makes videos about medicine, lifestyle, and fitness. If that sounds like something you may enjoy, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss another video. For those of you who do know who I am, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. If you watched the end of last week's video, then you already know that my word for the year is intentionality. And as part of one of my many New Year's resolutions, I have really decided to dedicate this year to becoming more of who I want to be. I feel like in the past, I have taken a lot of opportunities to say, oh, I want to be who I was before. I want to be the girl who ran tons of miles and was super fit and super active. And there are a lot of aspects of that girl that I am so proud of and that I would love to further emulate in my future. But I'm in a new position in my life now. I have now had 2 hip surgeries and things look a little bit different for me from an exercise perspective. But I'm so blessed and so thankful to be where I'm at in my health and fitness journey and to finally be at a point where I can exercise and do so consistently. So I'm excited to use the next few months to kickstart the rest of my life, not only with healthy eating and a much healthier lifestyle and relationship with food, but also with a healthy balance of incorporating movement into my day-to-day life and getting more exercises in since I'm finally able to do a little bit more physically. Outside of my own personal goals, we all could benefit from a little more movement. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 adults globally are not meeting the recommended level of physical activity. Out of the adolescent population, nearly 80% of adolescents worldwide are insufficiently physically active. People who are insufficiently active have a 20 to 30% increased risk of death compared to those who are sufficiently active. And outside of those scary statistics, ones that put into perspective all the benefits of physical activity include the fact that physical activity has shown to increase thinking, learning, and judgmental skills. It helps to ensure healthy growth and development in young adults, and physical activity time and time again has shown to reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. Do I think physical activity is the cure to everything in life? Absolutely not. And I don't think that that's what the World Health Organization is trying to imply either. But I do think that it's something that's very beneficial. And as long as it is approved by your healthcare provider and something that you are physically able to do, then I think there's so much benefit in getting moving and putting that first foot forward. Now, I've mentioned the World Health Organization a couple of times, so we may as well talk now a little bit more about their recommendations for how much physical activity adults between the ages of 18 and 64 years of age should be doing to be considered sufficiently active. According to their website, adults aged 18 to 64 years old should be doing at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic physical activity, or at least 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity. They also recommend some kind of resistance training to strengthen your muscles at least 2 days a week, among other things. So I worked with my healthcare provider and my physical therapist to come up with a plan based off of these recommendations and off of my own limitations given my history with hip surgeries, and we came up with the best way to help me meet my goals while creating my home gym. One part of what intentionality looks like to me is no longer making excuses, especially excuses as they relate to the weather and how weather changes can affect whether or not I decide to exercise that day. After moving into a home, I recognized that there were big differences in how I was going to have to shape my life, either by paying for a gym membership or exercising outside. And I really started to enjoy going on nice long walks in a local park. But as the weather changes and now that we're in a cooler season, I didn't want that to limit me from being able to be active. Today is a prime example of that, as it is pouring down rain. But thankfully, because I created this home gym, it's not an excuse, and I do still plan on getting on the treadmill as soon as this video is over. So I did some number crunching and found that if I was able to find equipment to put into one of our spare rooms that had originally just been used for storage, and I could find that equipment that could fit into that room and be cost effective, then maybe if those numbers played out well enough and I actually exercised in my home gym enough times in a year, then it would end up being cheaper than it would to just get a gym membership, which I was less enthusiastic about doing because I am moving in another 6 or 7 months for a fellowship, and I didn't want to sign up for a gym membership knowing that most gym memberships in my local area last at least a year, and it would be a little bit more expensive if I did like a month-to-month plan. Now, everybody's different, and if going to the gym or continuing to work out outside works best for you, then I'm so excited for you, and I'm really excited to be alongside you in our health and fitness journey, just in a different way from you all in this time in my life. But for those of you who are tuning in, who are interested to know how to create a home gym, this really is the perfect video for you. I don't have much of a background in trying to find the best equipment, but I know how to use Google to my advantage, and I also know how to reach out to those care providers that are on my care provider team who are willing and very excited to help me figure out which equipment would be best to put in my home gym. Now, not everybody has the availability of a spare room, and if you don't, then this space that I'm using is small enough to even fit into the corner of a bedroom or the corner of a living room. So please feel free to adjust what I've done to fit whatever space that you'll be using. My husband and I had a spare room in our house that was originally designated as the office space, but we realized that we worked better having an office space combined with a creative living space in another part of our house. So that front area that was an office ended up turning into essentially a storage unit. It kind of became a grab-all area where we just threw everything that we wanted out of sight, and it felt like such a waste of space, and we wanted to utilize it for something that we could really have not only benefit the aesthetics of our home, but more importantly, help us reach our goals. So we spent a long time clearing out that area, and once we got the room cleaned out, we measured the space and made sure we knew the dimensions of the space, and we got to work. The next part of that involved using an iPad app to better understand how to envision what I wanted the space to look like. So what I did was go to the App Store on my iPad, and I looked for a home designing app that had a lot of the good features that I would need to create a home gym, but that was free on the App Store. And thankfully, I was able to find an app that did that. Once I found the app, I put in the dimensions of the room I was using, and I got to work trying to see how different aspects of different furniture would fit into that room. I then used that knowledge and kind of having a better picture of what the room would look like to help me figure out which equipment would look best in the room. Now, I wanted one machine that I could use on a daily basis, and my husband wanted a machine that would be more dedicated to him to use on a daily basis. And I chose a treadmill because as part of my hip dysplasia journey, something that I feel like helps me remain mobile and something that I really enjoy doing is walking. So I was looking for a treadmill that was really, really good for walking, but had the capability to get up to a running speed if I am cleared to run in the upcoming months with my physical therapist. My husband decided on a rowing machine. So the next step was to find machines that were going to work with the space that we had and that were as cost effective as possible. The best place I found to look for that was on Amazon. Through a lot of digging on Amazon, I was able to find a treadmill that met all of the qualifications I was looking for, meaning that it had the ability to incline if I wanted it to. It also reached a maximum speed that was a jog for myself if I do reach the ability to jog. It was a reasonably sized treadmill that wouldn't overtake the entire room, but instead would allow for other equipment and would also allow me to walk in the space and move around in the space if I wanted to use the open area for any exercise class. And the most important part, it was cost effective. My husband had the same criteria and was able to find a rowing machine on Amazon that was in his price range and met those same qualifications. So we ordered those, and the next step was to make sure that we had an area for those pieces of equipment to sit on that wouldn't damage the floor, as we are in a home that we are renting and we didn't want to damage the owner's property. Once again, Amazon was our best friend, and we were able to find some gym mats that were going to cover the floor and had great reviews about being able to withstand the weight of equipment without damaging the floor underneath. And so far, we have not had any issues. We've made sure to check to see if the floor underneath has been fine, and it has been just fine. Once we had the gym mats and we had the major pieces of equipment, we wanted to make sure that we had a TV in the room that could connect to our cell phones so we could cast any YouTube videos, as sometimes I do enjoy watching YouTube workout videos and following along at home. We have a TV that we were originally using in the office / creative space, but we felt like it would be more beneficial to us to move it to the gym location. So we moved it over to the gym, and it was a good decision to do that as well. And we have a spare dresser that we have been storing away in that room, and we decided to use that as our TV stand. So that's what we have our TV sitting on right now. For all of the other pieces in the room, we decided to get them from a variety of places. I wanted at least a little bit of artwork, so I went to Etsy and I found some great little motivational artwork pieces that are kind of like sketch drawings of people doing some exercises, and it works really well with the space. I got those prints, and then I found some frames from Hobby Lobby that were on sale, buy one, get one free, and they came in a pack of 3, so it allowed us to use them and only pay a fraction of the cost of what it usually would have costed to do that. And that home project allowed me to spend, I think, a total of $20, and it really made the area pop. After we got those, it really came down to just adding the other small little touches to the area to make it really look how we wanted to, so every time we went in the room, we'd be excited to use it. My husband already had some Bowflex weights that he had gotten from Amazon the year prior, so those went in there. And my husband had also already bought a desk bike a couple of years ago, so we put it in there as well. He also had some extra free weights, and then I went to the store Five Below and I got some kettlebells, additional free weights, a step-up box to use if I wanted to do any classes, and then a yoga mat. Now that everything is in the room, everything just came together so perfectly, and we are so excited to use it, and it's been really fun to use so far. But enough talking about the space, it's time to go see it. So let's go, we'll go to the gym room, and I'll point out the different parts of the equipment, and then we'll come back to chat at the end. As you can see, when you turn it on, it comes right on. Has a pretty narrow strip, but looks pretty good. And you can just click the speed and turn it up or down to whatever speed you want. But the first thing you have to do is press the start button, and then it'll count you down. And then it starts out at half a mile per hour speed, and then you can turn it up or down as much as you want. And the button will just go. So usually I start from a stopped position and then I go from there, but it has the cup holders and the little clip that you can attach to yourself. And I have it right in front of a window if I ever want to look out at the sky or anything like that. But yeah, that's the treadmill machine. This is typically what I get on. And then there's also a rowing machine. Usually my husband uses this, but this is that machine right here. And then we have some weights. This is the little mirror that we have, but here are the weights. And then this is a desk bike. And then we have some additional free weights here, a kettlebell. And then we have one of those foam rollers, ab roller, some stabilizers. We had some extra mat materials left over, so that's what we're storing there for now. And then also a yoga mat. I went to a yoga class this morning, which is why it is not in the little basket, but yep, that's it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the space, and I hope you enjoyed learning more about how I created my home gym. This is such a great time for all of us to get on board and come together to support each other as we are in this new year and we're looking forward towards a healthier lifestyle and healthier living. Fitness is one of the many ways that I plan to move forward in my health and lifestyle fitness journey. But as I mentioned before, I also plan on doing some healthy lifestyle changes from a dietary perspective as well. And if you're interested in knowing more about those, let me know in the comment section below and we can chat about them in a future video. Also, if any of you all are interested in knowing how I plan to balance exercise with my crazy work schedule as a resident physician, let me know in the comment section below and we can chat about that in an upcoming video too. But now, as this video comes to an end, I want to thank you all for your time. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or you just want to chat, let me know in the comment section below. And if you like videos about medicine, lifestyle, and fitness, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.